Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be sharing with you our favorite custom tactics in the game right now, and as you can see it is with that 4-2-2 formation, and this is for us the best formation in the game. It's been our favorite formation for a lot of years, and just something, as you guys know, if you're regulars on the channel, you know we're super comfortable with this formation, and something that we always recommend to lots of people is to pick a formation that you're really comfortable in and try and stick to it as much as possible. Make sure that it's always in your game plan, because this game is about getting to know patterns, getting to know certain ways to attack, certain ways to defend, and the more you stick to a certain formation, the more you kind of get to know that formation, and the better you will actually perform in the long run. So as always, show your support, make sure that you leave a like, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you click that notifications bell so that you know exactly when we release new videos. So we're going to start off with the instructions first, and as always, pretty standard stuff with our goalkeeper and defense. Goalkeeper always wants to be on comes, crosses, and sweeper keeper. Of course, if you're someone that likes to control your goalkeeper a lot, the sweeper keeper is kind of irrelevant. We like to sort of move our keeper around a little bit, get him to sort of bait in certain situations. That's really important that you learn to do that. In terms of our two centre backs, obviously we've got Badashile and Maldini. Both of them, of course, going to be on stay back while attacking with those conservative interceptions. We kind of really changed the conservative interceptions recently. Found that the AI seems to be doing a little bit too much for us. You know, they seem to be trying to intercept the ball a lot when we don't want to, especially because we play quite attacking. We really need this defensive back four to be defensive. So we recommend having the two centre backs on conservative interceptions. You could also then have the full backs on conservative interceptions if you so choose. But because sometimes we get them involved a little bit in the build-up play, we don't want them on conservative. We don't mind them having going a little bit forwards, even though they're on stay back while attacking, and we've got them on mixed attack. So generally that back four is always in a good shape. It's really important, especially in this game. A lot of people like to counter. So unless you're somebody that doesn't mind attacking with fullbacks, which in this formation, we don't think it's really necessary, especially with our tactics and just the combination, you create enough chances without needing to get the fullbacks involved. So we like to have them on stay back while attacking. Then the two defensive midfielders, Alonso and Essien, of course, both on stay back while attacking and cover centre. Pretty much the standard stuff when it comes to using your defensive midfielders. But we actually have them on balanced defence at the moment. A lot of people like to use cut passing lanes, man mark for various reasons. For us, we like to use the balanced defence because we like to, you know, when it comes to cutting passing lanes, I don't want the AI to do it for me. I want to, you know, cut passing lanes that I want to cut. I don't want the AI to cut a lane that might be irrelevant. So it's always important for us. We like to just have them on balance. We like to control our defensive mids. And if you've seen our recent defending video, it's all about defending with your midfielders. So we want them to be at our sort of beck and call. I don't want him cutting a passing lane that I don't need him to cut, you know, and then he's out of position. I need him to be where I need him to be. So I want to make sure he's in that position, staying back, sticking to position, and staying in the cover as our instructions do instruct. In terms of the two wide cams, using Fagioli and Vanderson at the moment in these two wide cam positions. Really a big fan of this Fagioli card. I think he's an exceptional talent for Juve as well. But both of them are on get into the box. Both of these wide cams, it's important that, especially when the ball is on one wing, let's say it's on Vanderson's side, it's important that Fagioli gets into that box, because you don't want just the two guys, you know, the two strikers. We don't want the DMs. We don't want the fullbacks getting forwards. We need those to kind of stay in that position. So it's really important that the extra guy gets in the box and just gives you that extra position. So of course they need to be on getting to the box. And I like these guys on free roam as well, just so at the moment it's something that we really flick between. Sometimes I like using it, sometimes we don't. It seems to really change, and that's the thing. You've got to be really flexible. And that's the thing, when you know your formation inside and out, you know kind of what you need to tweak here and there, which is always why we suggest sticking to certain formations. But free roam is just something at the moment, with the quality of player, the quality of opposition's teams, all these things that vary, and you know, they change as the game develops. So free roam at the moment works very, very well. And then when it comes to your two strikers, obviously we've got Mane and De Ketelaere up front, both on stay central. We've got De Ketelaere on the false 9 position, as we like to use. Just one of them sort of drops in behind, just makes link-up play a lot easier between the midfield and the front line. So we find that whoever your, you know, sort of better sort of playmaker is, in this instance, it is De Ketelaere, and obviously Mane has got more pace. So Mane running in behind, De Ketelaere in that false 9 position, just a better position to link up with Fagioli, with Vanderson, with Alonso, with Essien, and just being able to, you know, play the balls forwards to Mane, obviously running in behind, and also having the option to sort of go short as well. So before we get into the tactics, if you are enjoying the content and you want to see more, make sure you drop a thumbs up on the video, and also let us know down in the comments if there's any other topics and videos you want us to cover, as we're making them a lot going forwards. So let's go into the tactics for this 4-2-2. So when it comes to the defensive style, we personally like to play on balance. Now, everybody likes to play different things. Some people like to play press on possession loss. Some people like to play press on heavy touch. We would recommend press on heavy touch if you just want something a little bit more effective. But for us, we've used it on balance for so long. And of course, one thing that we're encountering a lot at the moment is a lot of people playing quite deep and playing counter-attacking. So when we are playing on, pressure, even on pressure and heavy touch, which just presses in certain moments, people are just lobbing it over the top to their, player of the month Mbappe's or their Eustabios or whoever it may be. And it's just becoming a little bit too easy for certain people in certain situations. So right now, maybe it's just quality of our team as well. Maybe not quite as sweaty as some others, but we kind of, just like to play for playing's sake. We like balance. It just finds that it just gives us, as it says, it gives us that more, a bit more balance with our defensive shape. Defensive width on 45, we always recommend having a slightly narrower width. Of course, in this situation, that defensive width on 45, it's just better to have, better to give people the wing than have the middle of the field. So we recommend doing that. Depth on 60, again, something that we quite like. Obviously, we like to dominate the possession a lot. We like to create chances, all that. So we like to play a little bit higher. That sort of contributes as well. Sometimes, obviously, with those through balls over the top, so those Mbappe's, those Eustabios, those Ronaldo's, whoever it may be, obviously that pace over the top just allows people, obviously, to occasionally get in behind, especially when we're sustaining possession for long periods of time. Players drift forwards, makes it a little bit easier for our opponents to counter, but we like 60. We like to control the game, and to do that, you have to have a higher depth. And then this combination of slow build-up and direct passing, again, suits our style really, really well. Sometimes we like to go long, as we said, to Mane and do De Ketelaere and Van der Sar and Fagioli. Sometimes, obviously, we need to go in behind, we need to go long. But occasionally, of course, that slow build-up works very, very well as well. Kind of lull people in, and then you get into that final third. And as we've mentioned in our attacking videos before, you obviously need to be able to quicken it up in that final third. You've got to play quick. You've got to play fast. You've got to be decisive. You've got to know what you're doing. And that direct passing works super well. And like we said, that combination of having players you like, players that you're familiar with, a formation you're familiar with, you get to know their movements, you know when they're going to run in behind, you know when they're going to go short, and that's why I recommend not changing things around too much. Always make sure you've got something you're very, very confident is, whether that's players, whether that's formation, or we recommend a combination of both. And then the offensive width, we've got 55. We were on 65. We've just kind of narrowed that a little bit down to 55 right now. It just feels like at the moment, the width, maybe just because obviously we're using Fagioli, we're using Van der Sar, we don't have the quickest players. So having that sort of width at 65, just we found as well, one thing that is a big problem for us, especially when defending, is that middle of the pitch gets opened up very, very easily. In our opinion, we find that a lot of people, if you saw in our defending video, one thing that happened quite a lot, maybe that was in draft, different formation not used to, but it was very, very easy for people to attack through the middle. So we just narrowed that width a little bit to 55 just to make it a little bit more compact in that midfield. And so far it's worked a treat. Obviously, maybe because we put SCN in there, we've got Alonso in there, we've got some better defensive players as well. Just tweaking things. It's really important, like we said, just knowing your formation so well that you're able to just tweak little things here and there so that you're able to find that balance. And right now, this is kind of the sweet spot. We're just able to have that balance of being defensively very strong, but creating just as many chances as before. And then players in the box we've got on 5. Really, it's important that your instructions dictate who goes where. So for us, we wanted certain players getting in the box, certain players staying back. So it's really important that this generally we like to just keep on 5 and let the instructions dictate who goes where. And then the corners we've got on 3. Sometimes we like to go short. Sometimes we like to use some of the corner routines that are around. So it's just really important you mix it up. You keep your opponent guessing. Doesn't know whether you're going to go short. Doesn't know whether you're going to try a little routine. So it's really important. For us, we recommend 3, and then the free kicks on 1. We always tend to, just go short from free kicks unless in a shooting opportunity. So that is it. That is what we think are the best tactics right now. Certainly, we think the 4-2-2 is the best formation in the game at the moment. A lot of people seem to agree with that. It's a formation we've been a big advocate of since sort of about FIFA 22. We played with it a hell of a lot. We know it so well, and it's a formation that we always like to keep in our locker. So we recommend you always have this type of formation, whether it's the 4-2-2 or something else you're super confident with, always having it in one of your game plans so you can always go back to it, always something to rely on when you need to win. So as we said earlier in the video, if you do want to support us, make sure you do drop a thumbs up on the video, make sure you do subscribe, and make sure you do click that notification bell so you know when we release new content. If you want to ask us any further questions, make sure you join our Discord. The link to that is down in the description. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.